All right, so today I'll be showing you guys the exact growth operating business that made me $103,000 in 30 days and helped 15 people make 10K to 50K a month in the same process. I'm going to show you how I did this with a small audience of only 1,000 YouTube subscribers, under than 2,000 Instagram followers, no ads at all, no paid acquisition, and all with one calendar link in the bio of my YouTube videos. Finally, I'm showing you this so you can literally copy and paste what I did, copy and paste exactly how I printed all this money and how my same students printed that a lot of cash for their own growth operating businesses. So no time to waste. Let's get straight into it. Today, I'm going to basically show you exactly how we pretty much sold. So our exact marketing and sales process, everything we did A to Z that allowed us to pretty much, well, allowed me to close these calls on while driving in my car, pretty much driving, no camera, and get 4K PIFs at the same time. I'm going to show you right after that where our traffic came from, right? Our lead nurturing method, A to Z, how we ran it with no ads. Then I'll go straight into our exact appointment setting systems, A to Z, our strategy, how we booked so many calls at the end, how we took the sales calls, how our sales call essentially went. After that, I'll go into our plug and play systems. So pretty much our Slack, our school, our payment processors, essentially how we took payments and everything you need to know to, like I said before, copy and paste what we did. And finally, we're going to go over all of our systems that we pretty much use to onboard people, all of our operations, all of our roadmaps, and everything you need to do what we did yourself. And all of that could not have been done without a 10 out of 10 product. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a similar product that has, obviously 12 hours worth of content, but that was able to get more results in 2 to 3 months than anyone else that's been in the space for maybe years ahead of us. And obviously, all of that compiled to us building a hardcore, loyal ass community in the GA. Here's some of my students I met in London. I met some in the US too, went to a couple of steakhouses, but this is a quick highlight. And by the way, ignore this. This is Tyler. He runs our backend, but that's him. So it's a funny picture. Always have to use it. Anyways, we did all this by building something specific. We built the best product that essentially marketed itself. And how do we do so? We did that by positioning ourselves as the only figure of truth in a whole market, which is the growth operating niche, right? And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk you through how we did that. Now, the first factor we need to touch up on is product market fit and skill set. Without product market fit, you literally will not get any type of decent response. What do I mean by this? If I'm selling water to someone who has, I don't know, a water bottle company, they're not going to buy it, right? But if I sell someone water who's in the desert, thirsty for water, that's perfect product market fit, right? And if I go into a desert where they don't have any water and I'm the only one selling the water, everyone's going to freaking buy. Simplest process, but some of you might have never heard of the phrase or word, so here you go. So, a couple months ago, actually, being a growth operator has always existed for us, right? We've been running this type of business for about 16 months. We had insane results. We had hardcore experience. And essentially what a growth operator is someone who helps scale a coaching business and takes revenue share. So anyone who you see that has a following, a growth operator will help them monetize through info products, through different brands, companies, whatever you want, and they'll make revenue share and money from those companies. Now, this is exactly what happened. We found product market fit because this is exactly what was happening. There was a massive trend. It was growing, right? Everyone was making content about IPGA. Everyone was making content about growth operating. But there was one big issue that we found. I'm going to tell you about it really soon. Everyone was searching about this. Everyone was looking into it, right? So what did we do? We thought, we know better. We can break this down better. We can make this more valuable. So we began building an incredible solution that we called the Growth Accelerator, which, very interesting for you to know. We were already building this prior to us hearing about this trend because we were building a program for our own team. So I was building a program for my own team, for my own growth operating business to help them get as good as us, right? Which is why the more value we were giving in those videos, right? We just had to tweak a bit of the program. The more value we would get, the more money we would get for our agency. And so when a lot of these students came in, like you guys can see over here, they got the same value and they got the same results. Because this wasn't made random. This wasn't made for the soul of targeting people and selling info product. This was made to make us money. And in return, every person who went through the same process made that money. And I'll give you a quick sneak peek. I'll be going into this a bit later, But essentially, this is what a school like ours would essentially look like, right? Now, like I said before, we over-delivered on the product, and all of our customers started getting success just like this, right? The product was so good that it started to sell itself. And meanwhile, what was happening day by day is that every single person was bringing us traffic. So every competitor in the niche, imagine everyone is making people aware of an offer, right? They're talking about their life. They're saying why IPJ is a scam, why growth operating is a scam. Everyone's making content about it, but no one is actually producing valuable content about it, right? And I'll be going over right here, right? I'll be going over the content I was making, no worries. I'll be going over the content. I'm gonna show you exactly everything we did. But this is what was happening. This is where we found product market fit. We saw all these videos, and I was going through all of them, and I was like, how? Why is no one actually talking about what's actually happening and how to actually deliver the service? So we were like, game time, right? You guys know the result. You guys understand now why did we take on this opportunity and why did it make sense? So, like I said, I'm going to go over how we got the traffic. I'm going to go over our whole strategy, and you're going to understand. But before that, I want to explain to you guys and give you guys a copy and paste framework of how you yourself, for I guess your growth operating business or your clients' businesses, you can build your own strategy and find your own product market fit and build an offer so good that you can have under maybe like 1,000 subs, or you can have such a small following but still make such a big amount of money. Now, obviously, this can be implemented for you or your clients' businesses, right? Very simply put. So product market fit comes down to a couple of things. Number one, like I said, this is a framework. You guys can just copy and paste it for your own, right? Number one, you need to be able to solve the biggest problem of your ideal customers, right? Like I said, for us, the biggest problems were they had no idea how to deliver. They didn't know how to sign a creator. They didn't know how to build an offer. They had bad outreach. They didn't know how to optimize their pages, and they didn't know how to build any systems for their creators. So we knew there was an opportunity. You need to fill their biggest desires. Why are people going to business? They want to make 10, 15K a month. They want to quit school, right? People want to get out of college. They want to take care of their family. People want to make money online. They want to travel. They want to do these things. How do you do that? By being a growth operator, right? And finally, you need to solve their current roadblocks. And by watching a lot of content, by doing market research, which I'll get to over here, we understood that they're watching all these gurus. They're getting no value. They're having this bit of this shiny object syndrome where they feel like it's a good opportunity, but no one's telling them how to actually do it, and it's all behind a massive paywall. And they typically, it was weird to say, but they didn't understand the business model because the people who are making videos about it hadn't been in the space for long enough to understand the business model. And by us having this plan and having this in mind, understanding the market so well, this is how we beat everyone. And all of this goes back to one thing. You have to speak to your audience directly, so specifically. And this is why we won. After being in the space for so long, I knew exactly what would click and what people would want to see. For a certain reason, it might be why I'm making this video today, right? But now let's get into the market research part. We did this by doing market research, and people will give you formulas, they'll give you this, they'll give you questions to ask, like we also do. But at the end of the day, you have to live in a market for a certain amount of time, right? This is why we have processes to do market research, and you have to do a deep dive into YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, anywhere, right? Twitter, and I was on Twitter, I was on YouTube, I was on Instagram, and I was looking to what are people saying about this business model? What do people know and what do they not know? And I was starting to realize they don't know this, they're not talking about this, they're hiding this, they're not doing this, they're not explaining how this should go, they're not telling people how to onboard their clients, they're not telling them how to actually get real clients for sure. Instead of just doing Looms 24/7 or Instagram DMs, they're not telling them anything. And finally, we just had to build our offer. And if you want to build your own offer as a framework, you can just use, hey, dream outcome, time, decrease of effort, USP, promise and guarantee. So this is your copy and paste framework, but I'm very sure that at this point, what you're probably thinking is, all right, Yusuf, how did you actually do it? And what's behind most YouTube videos and maybe what's behind even this one? Like I said before, there was a massive pool of people that were hungry for actual value and actual way of being able to implement these things in their business. I don't know why I said they. Seems like I'm Deutsch. German. Apologies, guys. I'm supposed to have food coming, so make sure that on time. Anyways, let's get into the marketing and sales process. So essentially what this means for you guys is where was my traffic source coming from? What was I doing to get this traffic? And, why are people still buying, right? What was my thinking behind making this content? Now, essentially what's happening is that on YouTube, everyone was making content, like I said, but no one else was solving this problem of actually giving value and basically allowing the value to speak for itself, which is why we did very simple videos, and I didn't want anything edited. I hate edited videos. I wanted it very basic, and I want to be able to speak to people face to face because everyone was editing. And I was like, you know what? I want to have a real conversation. And I can have a real conversation because I know what I'm talking about. And so by also being myself, like I say over here, by being more natural, being a bit more of a goof, today I'm not really because I want to pinpoint this into your guys' heads, and maybe embarrassing myself a little bit. I made it more natural, and I built trust between me and the audience. There's no world in which if you have a real conversation with someone and you speak to them and you're not editing the video, you're not clipping anything, and you're giving them pure value, and you can express yourself for long enough in a video about a certain subject, people will want to work with you, right? And this is very important to say because this is the exact strategy that allowed me to just give so much value, but allow me to get all these sales, right? For example, these are some of my comments. I made very relatable content. And so people started DMing me on Instagram, bro, I like how you're being so authentic. Bro, I appreciate you being yourself. And I would tell people, bro, why would I not be myself? Like, it takes too much effort of me to be someone that I'm not. And I generally don't need to, right? You have people that will sit there and they script the video word by word and they want to be this person and they have all these lies. Personally, I didn't care. And by doing so, people were like, damn, this guy can just be himself, express himself for so long, and essentially what he's saying is right. So I made a YouTube video, and with one single YouTube video, we generate $30,000 in cash minimum. I'm pretty sure I made like 40, 50, but I'm trying to be as honest as I possibly can. And in here, I broke down exactly how I made $68,000 from my own clients within 90 days, and I gave them all the sauce. I barely held back. I was not selling them information. What I was selling is implementation in our systems that I'll be going into over here in a little bit, our roadmaps, our team spaces for our Notion, how we manage our clients. That's to come. Now, what happened because of YouTube is that my foundation was now a guy that can just be himself and drop a bunch of riz. So what happened is Instagram. People started coming to my Instagram because obviously they want to know more about my life, and is this guy capping, is he not capping? And I was blasting results on my Instagram stories. To this day, we still get some, but I can't just be doing this every single day. So I'll keep them for a bit, and I try to post them all, but at some point, I really just can't to an extent, right? And my DMs started being flooded. Now, what did I do as someone who's not trying to do what everyone else is doing at the same time? As everyone was putting VAs in their DMs and basic setters, I answered the DMs myself. I was brutally honest in the DMs. I told them it wasn't going to be a quick cash grab. And when people would ask me for price and how much it would cost, I would just tell them. I wasn't afraid of having to be someone else because I didn't need to. And I did simple CTAs where people would just maybe type a keyword and DM me because they want free access to something. And my DMs got extremely flooded. They actually still are. And that's why I'm probably going to have an email list so I can send you guys all the assets because I get too many DMs. And the second thing that was happening, which is extremely important to point out, is that people had already gone through my YouTube. And when they consumed so much content and they got so much value, like you see like I told you on the call, people did not want to have a long conversation anymore. They're like, bro, I believe in you. I just want to make sure that you're actually who you say you are, and we're good, right? And so that's what happened. And effectively what happened after is that because my videos were so good, and they made so much sense, and the product was so good at the same time. And like I said before, I'll go through the school later, and you guys can expect to see every single part of it. What ended up happening is 30% of my calls was people in the program's friends who were booking a call saying, yo, my boy recommended this. My boy told me it's fire. My boy just scaled up to this amount. He told me, like, I should work with you guys. And then I had people in other programs poaching members to come and work with us. Now, I wasn't telling anyone to do this, but people were choosing to do so because it was so problem solving and we were the first to build a program in such a way, which, like I said before, you guys will see again. Now, all of that was very simple, right? You're going to be shocked, but all it was going through a booker called link on Calendly, a simple link where I obviously had sometimes more limited spots, so probably maybe a bit of a scarcity effect, but I'm just a busy guy in general. And I was taking the calls. Now, obviously, I've been a closer for over a year now, so I have sales scripts, I have 10 different closes and everything, and I've never seen sales calls like this. I'll be honest with you guys, like I've been in shock because I'm like, I didn't know that by giving so much value, and I didn't know that by just being myself and just being very raw and just being completely transparent, we'd have this type of closing rate that people would just come and be like, bro, like at this point, I trust you. I get you. There's not really much more to ask because we've seen everything, right? And so this is what was happening essentially. And now you guys get the point, right? You understand where the traffic is coming from. You know how we built the offer. You're probably asking yourself two things. Now, Yusuf, how do I copy and paste what you did as a personal brand? And then second, well, finally show us the course and show us the implementation of the automations. Now, if you guys really want to skip hard, you can, right? Because I'll be showing you the walkthrough like I told you up here. I will be showing you. But I want to touch up on one last thing, is how can you copy and paste me? And how can you copy and paste what we did with our personal brand into yours? The first thing you need to know is that you just need to create a simple sales process. Calendar link, a couple reminders before people hop on the calls, a couple reminders, maybe shoot them out a student interview that you had, or shoot them out a bunch of results that you've been able to get. The second thing you want to do is that you have to get traffic to test your funnel in two different ways. It could be organic, and it doesn't have to be organic. It could be paid. And after that, essentially just refine your conversion mechanism. Maybe it could be a free community. You can have Instagram stories. You can have a DM setting process. You can have a VSL funnel. You can have these different type of funnels, and you can test them and see how you're getting sales, optimize it, provide more value, provide certain value. What you guys need to do very specifically is listen to people. Every time I make a YouTube video, I answer all of my comments, I check my DMs, and that's why I make the next YouTube video, right? This was inspired by you guys. I answer my audience's questions. I don't try to assume what people want, right? And once you find product market fit and you have decent copywriting skill sets, that's it. You don't need a crazy funnel, right? You need product market fit and you need people to relate to you. And like that, people will essentially buy from you. I'll give you an example of one of our growth operators in the GA. This is Simon, right? And this is his content. He's breaking down what these coaches are doing. It's very interesting content. It's very breaking it down. It's very raw. And he's booked coaches. He's booking coaches through his YouTube. The boy is pretty much catching up already, right? So this is an example of someone who's in the GA. And obviously you don't have to go copy and paste it, but gives you an idea. Now, the most interesting one, the one that you guys have been waiting for completely, I'm going to give you guys a live walkthrough of like what the whole system looks like. So let me go to my YouTube. It's funny that I don't have a tab open because I usually stalk my YouTube. Youseflashuell. Yeah, that's definitely who I am. Anyways, so let's say you come to my YouTube, you see, all right, this video, oh my God, this interview is so crazy. The lighting is a bit off my face. I should look better than this a little bit. But anyways, you come, you press on this link, and you book a call, right? Let's say the person books a call. What do? We have a organic sales call automation, meaning that someone books a call, and automatically we send a notification to Slack, right? So notification will look something like this. This person just booked a call for this time, lead info, their first name, their email, their phone numbers, all the information, and then it'll give us their monthly revenue, their goal revenue, their bottlenecks, essentially everything you need to know into our Slack. And after that, we'll add an automation to say they booked a call, the person is coming from organic, so we know where they're coming from. And then we'll add an opportunity. We have a pipeline, and we'll add them to the booked pipeline, which I'll show you right after what it looks like. And then we wait. And 2 hours later, I get a notification, right? Me or the future person who will be closing, saying that, hey, you have a call booked in 2 hours ago. Here's the details below. Give them a quick call. Make sure that everything is good, right? Make sure they've got the resources. Make sure they've got what they need, right? So we do that. And then right after, I'll go into the pipeline a little bit. Obviously, this is like the opportunities. We don't use Go High Level anymore, so it's all through Stripe. So essentially what this looks like, lead in, booked, no show, no close, closed, deposit made, so payments. I'll be transparent. This has been changed like so many times. We've made so many modifications. So these are just like recent numbers in a sense, and we'll have to like blur a couple of stuff. But other than that, you get the point. And then once we hop on the call, everything happens. This is what happened essentially. The person, let's say that someone closes, decides to join, gets onboarded, a webhook gets sent out, right, that someone's been closed, and they receive an email. So they receive an onboarding email that should look something like this, where essentially they say, hey, welcome to the Growth Accelerator. And what it does is that it gives them access to everything. They get their onboarding form, they get their WhatsApp chat, They get access to the school group all through here, and they get their own Go High Level account given to them, right? We save them a couple $1,000s every single year on Go High Level because we're the best. And essentially there, they can unlock leads, they can add themselves to the weekly group calls, and they can access their roadmap, right? So very simple stuff. This is what the Go High Level looks like. We get a notification through Slack knowing that someone is going to be getting onboarded. Now, I went to Accountly, I went to the JHL. Now I'm going to explain to you what happens after. After that, they get a roadmap that will look like this. So they come onto the school, and by the way, quick pause. We're doing a challenge in the GA up until the end of June. So anyone who joins can access basically the challenge. And so what we're doing is that the person to collect the most cash in Q2, basically from beginning of April all the way to July, as long as you can justify it, essentially is going to be invited to a mastermind in Dubai with us. We're going to get a fat villa, fat crib ski, top 10 people. First 3 people get like crazy prizes. The number 1 gets a Cartier Santos, and then also like covered expenses for the trip. Second person, MacBook Pro, third gets an iPhone, all like paid for the trip and everything. And then everyone else gets basically own pair of luxury shoes, probably like a Golden Goose or anyways, designer shoes, whatever it is. And then 7, 8, 9, 10 gets free invite to the mastermind itself with us, and a bunch of our friends that do generate over maybe $50 to $100 million in sales and info. Quick pause. Let's get back to it. So now they come to this and they see start here, and they pretty much get given access to everything they need over here. I'm gonna have our editors blur the links a little bit, because if you can make a copy and paste, it's not gonna work out. So I just can't give access to anyone yet. So they get access to the WhatsApp community chat. They get access to our roadmap. So once they press on the roadmap, they get taken over here. And here, we're going to give them all the steps they need to pretty much go through the program and get their options of what they need to do. So they get onboarded. They have all this information over here. And then to craft their offer, they get their own one-on-one call to craft their offer for basically one of our own copywriters or top copywriters, or sometimes it'll be ourselves, to hop on a call with you and pretty much write down your offer for you step by step. After that, we have a backend call with our backend team that runs the backend for our agency, and they go over your full backend infrastructure, make sure it's good. You get schedule basically essentially a one-on-one acquisition call to make sure you actually achieve closing the clients that you do want to close. And finally, complete sales mastery. And at the end, once you do close a client, you get to book a call where we're going to map out the plan for you and your client. And this is how we achieve extremely, extremely high success rate. Now, once someone joins, they get the roadmap and everything essentially. And from there on, they get access to the classroom. So that we'll go over mental programming. We go over building 500K year offers, backend optimization, which I can show you over here real quick. We go over everything when it comes to Go High Level. Essentially everything you can imagine. And then obviously if it comes to building offers, we go everything over here, growth partner offer, ICP analysis, anything you can imagine. I can't go through all this essentially, but you get access to the top people. For example, if I go into paid ads, they get access to basically Mateo, one of our media buyers who essentially spends about $1 million in ad spend every single month for different info products and brands. So you essentially get the best of the best. From A to Z. So after they go through this, they can then access our resources, right? So they go into our resources over here, and this is where they'll get access to ICP analysis worksheets. They'll get access to Notion templates and SOPs. So for example, in here, we'll give you the TeamSpace SOP. So this is how we manage our clients. We give you our exact things that we use for our clients, how we manage their offer. This is pretty much, you would use this for your client. So I can go into content SOPs. You have a bunch of resources, you have content analysis, client experience. So essentially anything someone would need to manage their offer, we give them this because they can use this for their clients. Then you have the client story section. We can go over closing team, how the sections work, closing scripts, sales calls, recordings, and essentially all the automations do come with it. So now that we'll go into resources, I mean, there's a bunch more. We have KPI sheets for them. Inbound, outbound ads, and we pretty much give them all the resources in the world they essentially need. Now, obviously, we'll be blurring these links because nothing's free, but you guys get the point. And then I'm going to go an extra route, and I'm going to pretty much just go over the automations part over here. So in Go High Level, once you get your own snapshot given to you, we give you pretty much a plug and play snapshot where you can have your client onboarding done for you A to Z, that you can just plug and play into your business, so you don't have to build your own onboarding forms and everything else. We give you our high ticket workflows for high ticket sales, appointment setters, and closers. We give you all of our workflows for basically opportunities management, pipeline management, A to D, so you guys get everything. And then when it comes to sites and funnels, you also get basically our own copy and paste book a call pages. So you get your own book a call page done for you, and then you also get right here. You get pretty much a website via sell funnel A to Z, where you can like copy and paste everything we have that we use for our clients. So essentially, people can get results really fast because everything we had for our agency, we just make it plug and play for people. Our big angle is that, like, why would they waste time building everything, spend 6 months building it, when we could just give it to them because we've actually done it. So essentially, you guys get the point. That's everything included. Now, I could spend hours going into what's in there, but there's really no point of me doing all that at this point, right? You guys get the point. So the exact process that we use is 15 modules worth of information, very in-depth, plug-and-play systems. All this is very A to Z, and it's very complete, and we spend a lot of time on it, and we optimize it a lot. And the way we built this is that, number one, we built it for our team, but also we give people access to exclusive members within the GA. So it's like any person who is getting taught within the program that we have is people that are either hired in our agency or people that are top students, like Muhiz over here, right? My business partner, Malcolm, he knows his shit A to Z on anything you can imagine when it comes to running info. He was obviously the operator. He's my operator right now. Been working together for about a year and a half now. He was the operator for our clients. Tyler, he runs all of our operations, all of our ops. He's also a coach inside the program, and he's running ops for all of our clients. And Muhiz was done appointment setting for top people, who's generated I don't even know how much info. And these are people that we completely trust A to Z on delivering the right results. And then here's my little face over here yapping. So essentially, everything is very tight knit. We keep a very close communication with everyone. To kind of end it off, we have daily coaching calls. So we have 5 calls a week. And the way we do this is that we have our call Monday, to my Q&A call. On Tuesday, we go over client acquisition. On Wednesday, we go over backend systems, operations, and all that. On Thursday, we go over anything client service delivery. And on Friday, we have another Q&A. And this is all like us having our own calls within the program. And so what happens is a lot of people get everything they want to get out of the program. They get all the value, they get all the plug and play systems, and then the cost is like extra. So it's like, bro, there's literally no way you fail if you have access to all this. And so we give them access to all these things. And this is how we can essentially guarantee $10K a month to people that actually join the program, or else they get a full refund. And we basically like specifically tell them that. We tell them and show them, like I tell you guys in the video, it's not easy and it's not going to be quick. But that encourages them to be even more invested, right? And what I want to say is, like, people that join and work with us, they do what we tell them to do. So they go through the trenches, they show up on the calls, they learn, they get a client, they get results. But it's so handheld, but at the same time, they get everything they need to stay in the game, right? A big part of it that I've learned is staying in the game. And if you can get someone to stay in the game, get insane results, plug and play everything, and pretty much make it as easy as possible. And then off top of that, icing on the cake is that community and building and community building and all the engagement at the same time. There's no way they fail. And this is us on our WhatsApp group. We just, we're always messing around. We're always being very active. And people always joke about community, but even after all the value and everything, I still think it's such a big aspect of it. And I'm very active with people in the group, and a lot of them just freaking become my friends now, because you need to have no BS. You need to have, like, especially when people are trying to achieve a certain goal. And this is another gap that I saw in the market when I was looking at other groups. If it's very wishy-washy, right? And we always say, like, the GA boys, right? The GA is on top every single time, because it gives people that in-depth. It gives them the systems, but it gives them something to look forward to. You know what I mean? When we have these calls, obviously we have a lot of calls during the week. It's not just calls where we hop on and just, do this. No. We also talk it out. We do things. We joke around a little bit, right? And so a lot of times when people are trying to grow into a business opportunity, they're also looking for a community. But everyone talks about community. People are looking for a high-level community that's highly motivated. They're ready to put in the work, but you want to have people to talk to. And so that's why the community aspect was so important. I've gone through a lot today, and at this point, you're probably asking yourself, damn, this is actually really saucy, or damn, this guy's a fat yapper. What I want to say is, I got you. So, over the next 14 days, I'm giving people access to 5 specific walkthrough calls, right? 5 people that, if you obviously work with us, you'll get a complete walkthrough call. Like I explained, we're going to give you exactly the step-by-step model, what you need to build your business all the way to 10K a month, get your clients, deliver insane results, and reach the levels you want to reach. And we're going to give you the exact same model that allowed us to essentially grow our business to 100K in March, Matt from 3K a month to 80K a month in 4 days, and HK up to 100K in 30 days. So yeah, what we'll do, I've mentioned this a good amount of times before, is we'll guarantee you a creator deal worth 10K per month in 90 days or less, and you essentially don't have to send out cold DMs. You don't have to do all that stuff. We'll literally close the deals for you, show you exactly how we close the deals, the exact blueprint. And if you are interested, the book will call below. You and I will chat. And if you're still thinking that we're BSing at this point, then all I can do for you before there's actually no spots is you can look at these different case studies over here. If you have more questions, I have even more student interviews on my YouTube. And if you still have a lot of doubt, you can always tap into my Instagram, look over the student results section, and you'll pretty much see like the results are never ending, right? And I say a lot of these things with so much confidence because it works, and when you spend so long building something and you optimize it day by day, you don't stop, and you have a team that builds such an amazing product, it will always work. So if you guys enjoyed the video, obviously do let me know in the comments. If you've watched the whole way and you appreciate the sauce, even if you can't book a call, maybe you don't have the money, or whatever it is, I really don't care at this point. Just comment Riz or something, so I'm gonna know you actually went through the whole video. And yeah, guys, I enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed making it. It's cool to be able to be transparent, obviously due to the model that we run. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comment below or do whatever you want. DM me on IG. I'm always answering questions. IG is a bit flooded. YouTube, I have all my comments answered. So yeah, sounds good, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate you.